What we're attempting to do here is to grow 12 different melon varieties. Yahoo! Welcome to this episode of the WickerShire project. Hanging out on Sugar's channel, and we're talking with just everybody in chat. David, Corey, and Cece. I guess they're both Texans, ganging up on the Shire. Just want to explain a few things. Behind me is about, I don't know, there's at least 24 cups here full of melons. Okay, they're all my backups. There's a lot of them are something like Hale's Best. They're all types of cantaloupes and things. Anyways, I can't plant all these in the backyard. They're just the backups. I just don't have enough soil. So I'm gonna try to sell these cups out at $2 a piece and get rid of them. Now, we're growing one watermelon. Testing out watermelon here at the Shire. So I'm gonna head down to the backyard. I'm gonna show you something really cool that we assembled. By we, I mean me, myself. I had to scrape and dig soil. We're running out of compost mix, and I am just, as you can say, empty-handed. Let's go check out the new build. Here is a quick peek at the potatoes, and they are now the height of the bag. They're just becoming an abomination out here, just growing fantastic, doing really well. There is very minor damage to any of the leaves, and that would be the flea beetles have picked at them. If you are a new subscriber, welcome to the channel. If you're wondering what's going on this off-grid location, we've put in this massive, and this is like, I don't know, 6 feet, and that's 18 feet, and there's another 6 or 7 foot trellis in the shape like, I don't know what you call it, like a Z. What we're attempting to do here is to grow 12 different melon varieties. That's wonderful and great and fantastic and all. It's an epic growing season for us. Down here are all the eggplants, are just massive. They're taking over the pots. Behind them are some sort of bean. I think they're green tenderettes. And amazingly, what has popped up are these Armenian cucumbers. If you know anything about Armenian cucumbers, they're going to take up just that one little plant that's come out of here. It's just going to cover this whole entire grow area. But I can't afford to do that, and that's just one plant. What I have is 3 plants. Well, there's issues. So the Armenians are going to need some care. How can I get these to grow? Well, I got some space once I moved the chicken wire over on this side. We've got space here, and what I think I'm going to do is take those cattle panels, and I'm going to arc them up and over, and I'm going to grow these Armenian cucumbers. Once they grow out, I'll vine them, and I'll spread them up and over those giant cattle panels, and that's how we're going to deal with those. Well, you might be saying, well, why aren't you using all the grow area, the 6 by 18 foot of tarping on this side? I've got an issue with that. That issue would be that bad boy right there. That is a Blacktail Mountain watermelon. What I have in this big tire is about 20 to 25 pounds of soil in there. It is not the best mix, which is kind of an issue and a problem. It is only about maybe 20 or 30% of our super soil, what I was scraping from the bottom. And there's just a lot of force leaf mold and mulching that has been incorporated and mixed in to grow this, and I've got to feed. So when this starts to vine out, I'm going to have to tap into that fertilizer bucket, that anaerobic tea, to feed this. I know it's too early. I know I need to break it down, but it's the only fertilizer and food I have currently at the Shire to feed this beast of a plant. Once it vines out, we're going to have a main vine cut through here, a left space. That main vine is going to continue to go down this way. It will grow either 1, 2, 3 melons at max. We won't let it go 4 or 5. I want them full-sized. Those side vines will pop out each side, and I can let them go that way. And there's spaces between the buckets. I can let the watermelon cut over that way. If you want to know something about watermelons, is they take up a lot of room, and we need to give them as much room as possible. The asparagus bean plants got their second set of leaves. They're jumping. I'm going to back up over here coming out of the bucket. Down in this bed here, we planted corn and bush beans. That's not a rabbit. That dig mark, see all those dig marks? That's the raccoon. Raccoon is here. So we're going to have a big fight. You can see all these weed seeds by the thousands growing. And in between them, you can see the pea plants are starting to come up and the corn is starting to pop up through here. So you can see corn, 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 corn. And then in the back rows, you can see pea plants just popping up in corn. And these are only spaced about 4 inches apart, but 9 inches spread. And this is approximately a 3 by 8 foot bed. The welded wire is folded over. I can unfold it to spread over this, but I don't have any soil just yet. I think we're going to have to go back to Bella Farm and pick up some more compost and make some more super soil so I can put at least maybe 150 pounds of organic composted manure in here to grow in. And we'll fluff up the native clay and mix that in. Tomato plants. These are all those leggy starts that did really poorly, and they are doing fantastic right now. But they're congested. You can see there's way too much growth here. So I'm going to have to take a cattle panel, drop a cattle panel right across this back area, straight out and across, attach it to this T-post, attach it to that T-post. Then I can spread all these tomatoes out, giving them more room going this way, and utilizing that other 7 feet of room. At some point, I will figure out which are my determinants and what my indeterminates are. I'm going to have to stake them all up. And as they grow, we'll figure out what pots we need to attach to the trellising system here. So that's the north-facing side. This is the east. And I do have a lot of space over here. But what we're thinking of doing is I need a spot for my candy roaster squash. So that might give us enough room to grow my candy roaster squash down and in. Why are we using the tarp? It is to prevent the bugs that like soil and vegetation matter to hide in, to go under and attack the plants. They do not like this. Having a barrier against that soil prevents a lot of the soil-borne pests from attacking my plants. The only thing that normally get to these are the beetles and the ants. That's the only thing that will be attracted to this. The ants are not a problem. They aerate the soil. It's the beetles that come in and chew the leaves up. I'm not sure. I gotta find another spot. I think we're gonna put in some watermelons. I think we are, just to test them out. I want a second plant. We'll do one of maybe the orange tender sweets, which is they say they get up to 25 pounds, maybe 25 to 30. So maybe not a competition winner of what you guys are growing out there, but for the Shire it was pretty big. We had sugar babies here and they only got size of grapefruits. So it's a big thing for us to grow watermelons here on this property, as they take up a lot of nutrients. They definitely take up a lot of space, which we're limited on. That back area of the Shire, that half acre back there, is just completely covered in briars and young trees, and we just need to get this all chopped down this winter and recover at least another 10 or 20 feet back and maybe 60 feet wide. It's going to take some time. It's going to take a lot of labor. I got Eric and Russ. If they come up, they'll help me do this. If not, I got to pick through it myself and just kind of recover a little bit at a time. But if we do visit that farm and we get that compost pretty soon, it's going to happen now. We're limiting our heat on our growing season. It is Tennessee 7A, so we do have quite a bit of sun and warmth in a fairly long growing season compared to most people that only get like 3 or 4 months. We've got at least 9 to 10 months out of the year to grow different things. We have a cool cycle, we have a heat cycle, and then we have a cooling cycle in the fall again. So, you know, brassicas and peas and lettuces in the beginning, all your summer crops in the summer, and then fall, when everything dies back, we put our brassicas, leafy greens, peas, and all that kind of stuff back into the garden and start growing for the third time. Spinach. That's good stuff. I think it's the Bloomsdale spinach, what we grew here. I am completely liking that. Just the leaves off the broccoli plant. Those are fantastic raw. Yeah, there's that brassica taste. That weird, stinky. It's not really stinky, it's just, you know when you're eating a brassica that's uncooked. So this is coming off of our kale plant. No bugs, no damage to it. You can see it's got that blue-green, waxy look to it. Kale is a lot tougher of a plant. Again, it's a young plant, so it's not bad. I think I like eating the plants when they're only like under a foot tall. I haven't had kale when it was full grown yet. Harvesting some of the lettuce. We're pulling out the ones that look kind of discolored. These are kind of going anemic. It's just the heat that's really bothering them. Not only do we grow lettuce and stuff for ourselves, but for the chickens. Here's a quick peek of the Ford Hook zucchinis. The leaves are getting big. Again, it's grown out of a cinder block. That's all it's feeding this plant. That's all it needs. Hits that ground, they do well here. And there is some super soil that we put in there. So solar production is doing great on these 3 sets of panels. We're somewhere up to 2,500 watts of power. This morning was heavy cloud coverage, pulling in between 3 and 900 watts. We finally got hot enough and bright enough where we can kick that 10K AC on. Yes, it's run by solar power. Anywho, thanks for watching this episode of the WickerShire Project. Grow your own food, grow big. You're not growing unless you're planting seeds.